What's up, summoners, and welcome back to another RiftGuides WildRift video. For today, we are going to take a look at Diana Jungle, and we have an experimental build for you that is very powerful when it comes to getting more gold. Not only this, we'll also highlight how you can approach fights from a different angle, how to use your spells during the fight, and how to be an absolute mastermind playing Diana like an absolute pro. But before we do this, let's talk about the build. First, we'll start with First Strike, Sudden Impact, Mark of the Week, Eyeball Collector, and Overgrowth. This one is a slight deviation from the standard build which you can use against more bruiser compositions where you run Conqueror, Gathering Storm, Giant Slayer, and Bloodline into Overgrowth. Now let's talk about the items and why we go for these items. Your first item is going to be Nashor's Tooth. This one will allow you to clear your jungle more efficiently, take down objectives easily, and making sure that you have more DPS during fights. However, it deals less burst damage than the standard Ludens build, so you have to keep that one in mind. Usually you want to go for the Ludens build into squishy compositions, but if you feel like the enemy team has too much damage, you can just go for this type of build and get more gold income to then have more bruiser-like items to make yourself even tankier and therefore life easier. For your second item, in this instance you're going for Plated Steel Caps. I'm going to play against 3 physical damage dealers and low magical damage dealers in comparison, and therefore these boots will make me much more tankier and will allow me to basically empower the power of Overgrowth as well as the power of the next item significantly. Next up comes Riftmaker. This item will provide us tankiness with the power of health as well as Omnivamp, and on top even some more ability haste. To make sure we even have enough AP afterwards, we go for Rabadon's Death Cap. Depending on the enemy team composition and how much MR they have accumulated, we can now go for the tap build. We go for Lichbane. Lichbane in combination with Nashor's allows us to deal up to 75% of our AP with one hit if we have the Spellblade passive available. And after this, we simply go for Void Stuff. But if you're a fan of the one-tap Diana build, you can also go for Awakened Soul Stealer and Infinity Orb. With that build, you would be rushing Prophet's Pendant and then having up to 33 pen, especially if you have the Boots of Mana. On the flip side, you really die fast, so you have to really keep that one in mind. And as for your enchantment, it is Stasis. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Hello, and welcome back. And now we get into the gameplay of, listen, Diana Jungle. Dear viewer, I can say Diana because I'm German, or I say Diana. It's, sometimes you just can't escape your roots, and that's one of these cases. Here, and in this game, I do something very interesting, which is starting with Dagger because I want to test something about getting more gold. Nashor's Tooth is something that increases the ability of yours to consistently gain gold far more than Ludens ever does. However, in this game, technically speaking, just going for Ludens could be better simply for the burst damage. For the jungle clear, make sure to use your empowered auto attacks after casting a spell, which is very important as the game goes on. Just make sure to use your melee cleave attacks on these camps, just line them up and try to hit them as consistently as possible. Here I believe I do a little mistake. I see the bomb, I walk to the auction and I kill him, and now for some reason in my brain I skill my third ability, which is not necessarily good. I mean, it's slowing me down, but it isn't the worst. Now comes the good part. You auto attack 3 times after casting a spell, and then you use your third ability. That way you make your life easier. And here I can also make it easier by just dashing onto multiple targets. And here's a little trick you can do on jungle camps. Like if we rewind for a second and take a good look at how I hit them, and maybe we catch the perfect frame. Okay, here. You see these little goblins here, and all these individual marks have their own timer, right? They're all ticking down as of right now. What I can potentially do is I can cast my third ability in the outer circle here, and then still have the Moonlight passive on this one to juice out a few more auto attacks, which helps me clear the jungle a tiny bit faster. It's not mandatory, it's just something that looks very cool and is very helpful when you do it like consistently. Like these few seconds can be the difference maker in some games, and just generally, my kiting here is not that optimal because I could have been further to the left even earlier. So even though the game is going good right now, all I have to do is basically fully clear. And here you see how I do this little trick with my third ability and allow myself to basically gain more attack speed. Here I'm keeping my spell so I can transition towards the blue a tiny bit faster. And here's something that you can do. Like, you see this play, and this minion, I basically base all my hopes on this minion not dying fast enough so I can dash in, and then I basically go for free kills. Now it's just collecting all the free kills, making sure I don't mess up my ult timing, and get the Fizz maybe killed unless he flashes away. He flashes away because I also keep my first ability as long as possible, just to make sure that if he flashes away, I have another extra point of damage to deal with him. We see the Akshan on the mid lane, and all we have to do is be very aware of what he's doing. Like, we are low HP, but he's also low HP. But you know, Akshan players, these little demons, you already know. Like, we see him vanish here, so he might just walk around here. And as a consequence, we should always start blue in this brush. We should not be visible. Now we're in this brush. Maybe the little Akshan does a little... You know these Akshan players. And yeah, we basically collect the free kill or give the free kill to the Tristana. We collect our camp, we have fully cleared the jungle, we have a Nashus on our first base, not even 2.5 minutes in. Now we are completely unleashed. This item on completion is unbelievably broken. It deals flat damage, 15, plus scaling AP. Plus it grants you a good amount of AP as well. And it's just crazy. And take a look at the enemy team composition. We can debate going Magic Pen Boots, but we can also debate going Plated Steel Caps. And here it's basically another free angle because the Pantheon is forced. Like, let's take a look again, okay. We see this play happening here. We know the Pantheon's intention is to push this wave in and this next one. Because if he doesn't manage to push the wave in, the wave will get stuck here and then he's stuck in lane. So, because I know this, instead of doing my camp, I walk there to punish him for this. Look, and look at how I'm approaching this. I'm not walking like here instantaneously, no. I'm using the control ward in this brush, approach this from this angle here, and then here, I wait for the next minion to be close enough, maybe he's even close enough, and then I jump onto his forehead, and life will be not so nice for him. Patiently waiting for him to walk around, and there I am. So, what is Blood about to do now? All I have to do is basically dash behind this little spear wall. Now I can debate holding this wave for my teammate or just quickly take it. I end up taking it, but I should not take the plant because that would be griefing, because I really don't need it. I just full heal in the jungle anyway with smite, etc. Now my team died after some unfortunate accidents, but for me it's basically just another full clear angle unless the Fizz is suiciding into the mid lane tower. He's not suiciding to the mid lane tower. I know where the enemy jungle is going to be next because my red buff just spawned. So yeah, basically it's all about thinking what I can be doing next. Is there going to be a play on bot lane? And if not, what can I be doing? Like, if I assume that the enemy is here, the enemy jungle is there, so I basically play somewhere around here. That is something I can do. Because I will not reach up there and there's only one camp available, so it's a bad investment as of right now. But what I can do is I can go into the river, place my control ward, and wait for the Pantheon here to do something funny. We all know Pantheon players. We can basically read all their minds. So what we do here is we basically chill at the corner so he doesn't see us. We know he doesn't have vision. At the moment he jumps onto the DMF, if she walks too close, because he's a Pantheon player, she is bullying him right now. And if this happens too many times, he'll be too low, so we can potentially dive onto the next wave, and then he just dies anyway. The only issue with this play is it's a very prolonged play, and I'm not allowed to show myself the entirety of the time. Because if I show myself, the enemy will get enough information to make any play happen here, and might just take deep vision here, or anything along those lines. So I have to be patient here, because there's nothing else much to do for me, and if that happens, I just go in instantly. I miss my first ability like an absolute goon, so I don't get the reset, and he flashes away. Now there's a brief window of downtime where I just walk into the river, hide onto my pink ward, and then I just go deep. I don't have my E cooldown because I messed up, but here I just get the free kill, and now is the question. Will I kill him fast enough? No. Grave mistake by me. I should have just walked up here and just keep on walking, right? There was no reason for me to turn around. This was completely bad on my end. Because if I walk into this brush, the Tristana will slowly kill him while he walks in here, and the only way I can maybe die is if he hits me with a thrown Q. Other than this, I don't die. So yeah, it's a big mistake. I still end up getting the assist, I believe. Yeah, I get some assist money. Amazing. And yeah, I'll be back on spawn for the objective. Everything is fine. Mentally debating the boots here, since Pantheon has ravaged me brutally. I'm just, yeah, well, plated steel caps. It is Akshan, Pantheon, and even the Lucian. This will make life a lot easier. Now, with free camps spawning on my top side, I really need to get these cleared, right? I don't want to waste my time and not troll my spells, preferably like I did here, but we'll not talk about this. But yeah, make sure to be very efficient with your jungle clear. You want the money, you need the money. The enemy just recalled for fun, and I somehow didn't cancel my spell. So right now there's something happening here, so I can make a decision. The enemy recalled, so they might be on their way from any angle here, right? Now, with me having Nashers, I deal a lot of damage to objectives. Like, if you just pay close attention to how much damage I deal to this objective with just auto attacks, like, it's quite a lot, right? So I can deal with this relatively fast, not as fast as a Kha'Zix can, but reasonably fast. And then I can transition over to the next objective I want to deal with, because the enemy is simply out of position and can't do anything. Now Pantheon and Akshan go for a play, I flash in, I catch them off guard, and I save my beloved Tristana. Well, and you are gone. Quickly push out the midwave, and now we go for the enemy, or well, for our Herald. Right now Tristana can pick up the healing plant, she can also give it to me because I need some mana, but it doesn't really matter too much. This Swain is not a threat, he can just basically do whatever he wants, it really doesn't matter, he's just wasting our time, and if he walks up too close, he just dies. Like, right now there's no point for him to do this, but now, a big mistake on my end, because now you have to think about the future, right? So, quickly tell me, is there anything I gain by engaging with this behavior? The answer is no. And if I drag the fight up here, then the enemy's reinforcements will come from here, and I'll die. And when I die, life gets really troublesome because I can't farm, I can't take this, etc, etc. And worst case scenario would be me placing this early, then walking in here, dying before this even charges, and then I don't even get gold, and it's a GG angle. So yeah. This play here, if I continue it, is just completely pointless. I try to avoid the damage, and then I just end up dying. So, this is 100% my fault. Two grave mistakes simply happening through, what can you call these? A lapse of judgment, a brief lack of awareness. You basically can pick your poison. But yeah, these are two key signature mistakes that many people do, and these will actually lose you games. Because they serve no purpose, and you should really, really be aware of these kind of things. Because the enemy gains so much from this, like, brief moment after we gain everything, simply because of greed or anything. But now, if I get the reset here, they both die. Sadly, the minion dies, so yeah, life is kind of sad. My mid laner is here to collect the gold, everything is fine. I think about, okay, there's not as many platings on the bottom half, on the mid lane, so why not just go for this tower up here? If this Q hits, I can kill him, but if I don't hit, I can't kill him. So now I take this and then I just walk away and take the Scuttle Crab and all the camps. Like, I get a lot of gold from this charge, like probably like 600 gold into my pocket. We're happy about this. Take a quick look into the mid lane, and if I can't get anything done here, I basically just walk back into the jungle. Like, right now, I'm committing a lot of my time to helping my teammates, which, technically speaking, is not that good of an investment. Because I could have farmed, or could try to farm up to 6 camps, which is a lot of gold. But now if the Akshan gets too close, like, that is something you can't do. You just can't just walk up to Diana. See, I got it. And expect to live. You just immediately die. And yeah, Mr. Fizzler is also an interesting specimen. He even flashed into Luxie. Goodbye 07 to that guy. But yeah, now instead of going for my own camps, I go for the enemy's camps. Preferably as well, I get even deep vision. Now I place probably my deep vision. If I choose to go deeper, I can catch them off guard. And at the same time potentially get deep vision. But now I just walk after the illusion because I know I can just kill him and this Swain will just die afterwards. And it's just about decision making, right? They can't really escape, so why would I just settle for 1 when we can get 2? Now I have another full item, and here I choose to go for the Rift Maker because the enemy, because I lack sustain, right? I don't have Bloodline and I don't have any other sources of sustain. So I want to put emphasis on extended periods of trading. Even though in this game it's probably not the most optimal, but it synergizes really well from a build perspective. Like if you have plated steel caps, if you have Nash's Tooth, and then Riftmaker, you're very strong. Even stronger you would be if you had Conqueror, because then you would have another source of healing and more AP. And this Fist here, you can't even dream of surviving. Like, look at the damage I just dealt to the man. Like, and he juked me. He's an absolute demon. Was this intended? We don't know. Did you just spam his buttons? We don't know, but now is a big problem. We need to avoid the next Pantheon. We need to flash. Yeah, we need to flash, so otherwise it's doomed. We survive, but now there's a tiny problem. What do we do, guys? We are kind of stuck here. Goodbye, fellas. Another mistake, which you can put on the Fist being very good, or us griefing. But our Tristana has a little accident exploring the exploring the little fight. But it's okay. Our Lux and MF are taking down the enemy base. As you see, even though people would flame them for doing so, like at least they're doing something by getting something on the map. Like even if they're not with you in a fight, or potentially could have not even been with you, they did something in exchange for what has happened on the other side of the map. Now they're even doing something very good for us right now, because they're using the enemy's time. We saw the enemy ward, and now take a good look. This ward here is something that tells us if we're coming from here, so we just walk this direction, and then they don't know that we are here. Let's see if Tristana does the same. We just do a quick walk around. Tristana showed them that she was here, but we just go in. We have nothing to fear, but sadly they have the cheating ability called Flash. We quickly go back to the Grom to heal up. We even invest Smite, and then we take a look at what's happening. We can't go fortified, so we don't even try. It's not worth it. Maybe we can defend mid lane. Maybe we can get a cheeky kill mid lane as well. But yeah. We can't really do too much. It doesn't really do damage to us, but it's important not to hide behind the tower, because then it would have just one-shot the tower with the minions around, because Akshan ult deals damage to towers as well as one-shotting minions, which is something you have to keep in mind when it's about super minion waves. You definitely do not want him to hit his ultimate onto you while you're pushing with a Baron-empowered super minion wave, because then it's simply gone and you get very depressed. But now, there's not much to do. It's basically just some gold income time, and we just focus on getting more gold. We know that he knows that we know that we're here, and we know everything. We need to be careful that we don't walk into him, because he deals a lot of damage. But the moment we are getting a flank, we can now slowly clean up after him. Like if he turns onto Tristana, we can go for a free kill. But now we just walked through the entire perception of the enemy team. Like they had no idea we were coming this way. Because take a look. We walk around. So the Fizz, he didn't spot us, right? I assume he didn't spot us from this perspective. So we are walking after him, and he has only eyes on what is besides to him, right? So with the Tristana being here, he's like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? He hits the ult, he flashes away, but we still haven't been visible, and we only get visible as we walk here to the little vision plant thing. Like here, we just got visible as we also walked to the Akshan. The Akshan is now close. We instantly one-tap the Akshan. Like he dies, and boom, he's just gone. Now we go for the next one, and we get this one as well. Tristana gets this one. We have 2 kills, and now it's basically looking how we can play the game. We know that the enemy is somewhere here, so the Tristana needs to drag the fight upwards here, so we can intervene. Tristana is not allowed to go here, unless she has an ability to escape, because the enemy can too easily get to here. And we don't have cooldowns right now, so we basically just use our body as threat. She drags the fight into the right direction, Pantheon flashes after her, but we get absolutely denied by this absolute demon of Swain. We even dodged the most vital spell, and we are just, look at this. He's just being annoying. We kill the Pantheon, and now it's just escaping, okay? So, ideally speaking, we take a look at this bar. We keep on running this direction or this direction, as long as we are not getting into the circle. So let's see what happens. We turn around, we wait, and we sadly got back into the circle, so he gets a reset on this one, you see? And we have 0.4 seconds left. So we make a grave mistake by doing what we've done. So let's rewind a second, okay? So this happens, he jumps onto us, we get a free kill, everything is fine. We flash away, everything is fine. What we can do is we could slow smite to gain speed to run away, but we should never cast this Q, right? We know that Lucian is somewhere up here, and he's potentially maybe walking here to go over the wall while the Swain is walking after us, providing vision. So we just keep on walking away, and then we look what we can do. There's no reason to force something when there's no vision, and we miss him. If we hit this, we kill him, but it's still a gamble that we don't have to take. So now the Lucian was hiding in the pit, using the Swain as a human vision ward, and then he dashes over the wall. Now we are 0.4 seconds short of one-tapping them. So yeah, it is just a tragedy. And then we just die. Now with the death timers being that long, it is rough. And yeah, out of anger, ping this Swain's items because I literally can't move. Like, he went for the attack speed slow, he went for Rylai's. This guy really hates me. Yeah. Lovely. But now, we've given the enemy an opportunity to go for Nash, so we need to pay close attention to what's happening, but they don't want to go for it for whatever reason. So now, you're an assassin. You basically just wait for the enemy to make any type of mistake, using vision control to your advantage, and then you just one-tap somebody. This guy is not going to die instantly, but this guy is gonna get one-tapped. So we don't go on this guy, but we go on this guy. We can instantly kill him. And we don't overcommit. Keep that in mind. We don't overcommit. The Pantheon's coming in, we get a free hit onto him, but we don't have spells. We just basically play it super slow. We just keep on playing it slow, we look for the target. We don't care about the Swain. If anything, we only use this Swain as a proxy target. We use him to get onto a more important target, but we don't focus on him. We don't care about his existence. So we jump onto him, and now we go into the Lucian, the high priority target. Easy kill. Now we look at the next priority target. The Swain is not relevant, he's just being an annoying sponge. So we look at this guy. And we can choose between going instantly or a little bit delayed, depending on what we choose is the best choice. So we can wait and we go and we get the free kill again. As you see, target priority is very important. And now we just go for the Nasher. It's completely free. My entire team is fake. Look at them. They're even using the spot to avoid damage. They're absolute gigasmurfs. Now with the enemy dead and the waves pushing, before we reset, we should most definitely push in this next wave, and then we reset. The reason is, we want to make sure that this wave hits the tower already and it's not stuck randomly here, because this wave will probably take the tower on its own, and the luck should reset with us. We can buy another item in base and just be very powerful. Quick reminder to our items, we have a lot of on-hit damage. Right? We have this on-hit damage, we have this on-hit damage, we have a lot of AP, we have Vamp, we have protection against 3 of the enemy champions. The fifth can't really do anything to us as long as we are smart with our stasis, and Akshan has a collector, so he's basically a little meme, but he has a Serpent's Fang, so he's a tiny bit annoying, but not too much. The most annoying champion on the enemy team right now is probably Swain, because he denies us in so many ways. Movement speed slow, attack speed slow, just annoying. But generally speaking, there's not much of a threat on the enemy team. But take a quick look at how much gold we have. We have 15,000. We are filthy rich. And simply because we tried to farm, and even though we made many mistakes, right? Now just imagine I made 0 mistakes. If I made 0 mistakes, I would have had even more gold, or the game would have been probably over. It's just something you have to constantly keep on your mind. Like, our team is currently also not in position, so there's no reason for me to just walk there, and I just need to pick up the blue, because with the blue, I can play so much different. Because otherwise I just go out of mana, as you see. Now, I will use my team as a bait system running in front of me and locate the easiest target to go. I don't know what this guy was thinking. He just had a little accident. But now I let my team push while I hide in the wings, and the moment this little snitch of a Poro appears, life is bad. I hate this Poro. I'm so happy you can kill it next patch. But now, as you see, even though we're visible, it doesn't really matter. Our team is approaching this with a wave, and we are approaching this here. We are perfectly safe. We have everything available. There can nothing happen to us, and we just walk up here and we pressure them. If they stay here and we see like a squishy target somewhere here, we just one-tap the squishy target, and again, we don't care about this guy. We only go for him if he's completely free. Locate the Lucian, say hello to the Lucian, goodbye, you're gone. Pantheon is ulting in, we just turn around, we basically get a free kill on the Pantheon. Yeah, life is good. Akshan is having some issues in our base, but it doesn't really matter because we can just simply end the game. They don't have any way to defend themselves anyway. But yeah, as you see, it's all about target selection, getting your gold income, and especially on AP champions, you're ridiculously strong. There's just nothing they can realistically do to stop you if you get to this point. And it's just, the most important thing is just to farm, and go for plays that you believe are consistent, because you don't want to waste any chance of going for something, because it would only hurt you. That is something you should always have to keep in mind. Consistency is key, because otherwise you basically constantly depend on your teammates. And as you see in this game, I didn't really depend on anyone. And I only played around myself and tried to do the best I believe I could, and even made signature mistakes which could lead to losing games. And if you get rid of these mistakes, and I wouldn't do them in these games, then this game would have been even more easy. And that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to boost the algorithm, and see you soon for more RiftGuides content.